Hey, everybody, it's Scott Steen with the winnersandwhiners.com. This is the Thursday edition of Today in Sports Betting. And of course, it's today. We're doing sports betting. Who better to join me than my partner that joins me every day? It is the one and only Scott Reichel. Scott, you still hunkered down from the hurricane there yesterday?
I'll tell you what helped. A couple of the NBA plays we had definitely helped me forget about the hurricane. We had a pretty good night.
We did have a pretty good night, man. We did that special video on our power parlay of the day, and how'd it go, Scott?
We won pretty easily. Rocking chair victory if I've ever seen one. We had the Thunder plus the 6. Even if you want to gamble on the money line, along with the under 218, game went under by 20-plus points, and the Thunder won outright by double digits. So it was a pretty easy victory there.
Yeah, and it even survived you and I texting each other during the game about the fact that this was already a win.
Well, I waited until there were like 3 minutes left, so I was trying to time it right. But so far, it looked pretty good.
Worked out okay. If you of course we just recommended the Houston, excuse not Houston,
Thunder Laker game.
The Thunder. Sorry, I'm going to today's game. Yeah, the Thunder getting 6. But if you wanted to play the Thunder straight up and throw that with the parlay, that netted you a plus 490. So yeah, we're pretty happy about that. I don't know how often we'll do those. I'm sure we'll do them again. But keep an eye out. Keep on an eye out for our power parlay power of the day. So there you go. Hope everybody was able to get on that one as well. So Scott, not quite an exciting NBA board today. You and I were talking about that before the show. Nothing really gets us fired up here like it did yesterday. But let's go ahead and start off. See what we got here. Early game, New Orleans and Sacramento. Sacramento is the designated home team here. New Orleans 4.5. What do you got here, Scott?
Well, I think this game's pretty tough to tell, but I know the entire betting public's going to be on the Pelicans. So if you want to end up taking New Orleans, you should probably take them at 4.5 before they climb up to 5 or 5.5. Because I'm not really sure who's going to be betting Sacramento, besides maybe some sharps once this gets to 5.5 or 6, just for some contrarian buyback. But I don't know how I'm not really supposed to take New Orleans here, especially with Zion playing 20-plus minutes in his last game against the Grizzlies. The more minutes that Zion gets, the Pelicans might learn this someday. The more minutes that Zion plays, the better chance they have of actually winning games. I don't know if they realize that yet, but I don't think the Kings are that good. I know that they had a decent year. They started off really badly. They played decently down the stretch before the season shut down. But if you look at the roster, I'm a huge De'Aaron Fox guy. Buddy Hield has been terrible lately. I'm not really sure what's up with him, but there's something wrong with his shot at the moment. And I don't think Luke Walton's that good of a head coach. So then again, I don't think Alvin Gentry is that good of a head coach either. But I just think the Pelicans have the more talented roster. They have more offensive weapons. And I don't think the Kings are good enough defensively to stop them. So I'll lean to the Pelicans, but I'm not going to touch this.
Yeah, Kings have been bad in the bubble. Not good at all. This is kind of a positioning game, as the Kings are just one game back of the Pelicans there for that much coveted 9-hole in the West. It seems like a square play, but I don't see anything to like about the Kings. I'm with you. I'll take New Orleans on a game that I'm probably not going to touch either. All right, back to the East we go. Milwaukee in Miami. Miami is a 9.5-point dog here, Scott. I'm on this Miami team. I've liked them. I liked them during the season. They went through a little drought there before the COVID hit, but they've kind of righted the ship here in the bubble. I like what they bring to the table. They play with a lot of energy. I think 9.5 is too many with this Bucks team. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I know that when I started to break down some basketball before the bubble actually started, one of my plays that I made on one of the videos I had for the restart special, I gave out the Heat to win the East, and I gave out the Heat to win the championship. So I saw some value there in the odds markets just because of the fact that I like this Miami team. If you paid attention to the last meeting, I know Miami's been better at home. They have been on the road. But Miami absolutely smacked Milwaukee in the last meeting that they had when Milwaukee was at full strength. And I'm pretty sure Milwaukee scored less than 90 points. So Miami defensively without Adebayo completely just shut down Giannis. And this spread makes no sense to me either. The question that I have is, if you're going to bench Giannis and Middleton in the second half of a game that if you win, you get the 1 seed, why would you not just bench them in the second half again if it gets out of hand in the first half? I don't know why I'm supposed to expect Giannis and Middleton to play 35 minutes in this game.
Are we still salty about that, bud?
No, I'm not salty. I'm just asking a serious question. If you're going to bench Giannis and Middleton against an abysmal opponent, I mean, the Nets lost by 34 last night. They gave up 149 points. If you're not going to use your best two players when you could wrap up the 1 seed in pretty much a free win, then why would you play them 40 minutes a game against a team you might potentially face in the playoffs? Yeah. I don't really understand that. So I think Miami's got a shot to win this game outright, if I'm being really honest with you.
The only thing that scares me, and I'm pretty sure this explains the line, is the fact that Jimmy Buckets is out for Miami.
I don't know if Dragic is going to be out or not also, so that could potentially hurt. But that makes sense. I still think 9.5 is too much. Milwaukee has shown me absolutely nothing in the bubble. I know that they beat the Celtics, very controversial ending. They lost to the Rockets, which was also a very close game. Then they lost to the Nets. The thing I have to wonder is Milwaukee going to take their foot off the gas? And I don't know why you would kind of give a potential opponent in the playoffs some film when you don't really need to, because you're guaranteed to clinch the 1 seed anyway. It's just a matter of time, you know?
Yeah, I do know, and I like Miami in that game, even without Jimmy getting 9.5. Although it does perhaps smell just a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably play it. I don't think I'm going to play it very big, maybe half a unit, something like that.
Maybe, yeah, it might be worth a sprinkle. Just simply put, do I think Miami's going to win the game? No. Do I think there's value on the money line? Yes. Yeah. But it's once again, I don't know how you can only 9.5 with Milwaukee when Giannis and Middleton might play, 25 minutes?
Who knows? Who knows?
Nobody knows. So the point is, you really want only 9.5 with a team that struggled in the bubble who might be resting their best two players for the second half?
Right. Yeah.
Probably not.
Good point. Indiana, Phoenix, another game that makes no sense to me with this line. Indiana -2. What do you got there?
I see roughly 2.5 or -3. This game doesn't really make any sense either. I'm going to lean to the over. I find this side a little bit too questionable for me, so I'm just not going to touch it because something about that current line is just not sitting right with me. But the one thing I do know is that Phoenix plays absolutely no defense, and Indiana's offense is still really good, especially with the way T.J. Warren's been playing. I think this game's going to turn into a shootout. Phoenix is known for being a good offensive team, especially in the bubble, and playing basically no defense. We saw them against Dallas, saw them against the Clippers. They won. They gave up over 115 points in the process, but they won. And Indiana, I know that they lost some weapons. I don't know if Brogdon's going to play or not, and, of course, Sabonis is out. But they kind of gone smaller, and they try to run and gun a little bit more, shoot a lot more threes. I think this game's going to turn to a track meet. I think that there's a reason why money has come in on the over already, as you've seen this line go from 228.5 to roughly 229.5. I think both teams should get to 115, so I'll take the over.
Okay, I'll take the Pacers there again. It seems like a trap game to me.
That's why I'm not touching the side. The line seems odd. I think the total makes sense, so I'll lean to the over.
I think in a vacuum, Indiana's 6 points better than Phoenix. So, Clippers, Dallas. It could be a fun game here. Clippers -4, 228.5 is the total there. Now, this is a game that I'm gonna not touch at all. What do you got a thought on this one?
Clippers. Simply put, Clippers ended up losing a pretty tough game to the Suns, which they lost again to the Suns earlier this year. So the Suns, I guess, have matched up decently well against the Clippers for some reason.
Right.
But I think everybody would claim the Clippers should probably win that game. And now that Denver ended up beating the Spurs yesterday, the Clippers are only one game ahead, or only half a game ahead of Denver. Does that matchup, does that seeding matter at all for the playoffs? No, because they just play each other in the second round. But you could make the argument that you would rather play the 7 seed in the Mavericks over the 6-seeded Rockets. I don't think anybody would want to play the Rockets in the first round.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that because I was putting that together when I was putting this together. I thought about the difference between the 7-2 and the 6-3 game. That I don't think anybody wants to touch this stupid Rockets team right now.
Well, I don't know who's going to get the 6 because the Rockets are tied with the Thunder right now. So you can make the argument that the Mavericks might be better than the Thunder, might not be better than the Thunder. Either or, the Clippers still have to play for something because they still have some seeding that matters. They also are coming off a pretty embarrassing loss to Phoenix. Meanwhile, Dallas ended up winning a nice overtime game against Sacramento. You needed overtime to beat Sacramento. The Mavericks just haven't looked good in the bubble. If you just break it down, they blew a double-digit lead against the Suns, blew a double-digit lead against Houston. Besides Doncic and Porzingis, I don't know where their offense is coming from.
Yeah,
They've had some bursts from Trey Burke, I guess. I just think the Clippers, especially defensively with Kawhi and Paul George, I think they can force Doncic into a long night on the perimeter. Do I think they're going to shut down Doncic? No. But I think they can limit him to 25 points on a pretty inefficient shooting night. So for me, I'll take the Clippers minus 4.5. I think they'll be motivated after a pretty lackluster performance against the Suns in their last game.
I got Curry. It looks like Curry's going to be probably missed this one. He's doubtful. So yeah,
I just think the Clippers are the much better team in this matchup, and it's not even that close, in my opinion.
All right, Portland minus 4.
Do you have any thoughts on that game, or you're just?
I lean Dallas. I'm not impressed with this Clippers team, what they've done so far in the bubble. So
they're still waiting for Harrell to get back, so their bench hasn't been as solid. But Lou Williams starting to get more minutes again, so that should help the bench unit. I still think when healthy, the Clippers are the best team in the league.
It's probably. I think.
So, my personal opinion, I think the Clippers are the best team in the league.
Okay, well, you need to put down the pipe because that's not happening.
We'll see when they make a run. I'm just telling you. I have money on the Lakers and the Clippers to win the championship. Of course, I win more money if the Lakers win, but this Clippers team is tremendous. I think that they're really gonna destroy some teams in the playoffs.
I think they're gonna finish third and lose to Houston in the first round. How about that?
I think that's a nice cold take, but I think we'll get to that. I think they're going to finish second in the West anyways. I don't think it really matters.
Well, they're half game up on Denver right now. So
that's what I'm saying. So I don't think they're even going to play Houston in the first round.
Okay.
But fair enough.
All right. Portland and Denver. Portland minus 4 here. You're gonna ride the hot hand with ex-Mizzou star Michael Porter Jr.?
Well, I know that we had a disagreement on the Denver's game yesterday against the Spurs. You like the Spurs, I like the Nuggets, and the Nuggets ended up winning. But I'm going to lean to Portland here. First of all, Denver ended up playing yesterday. Pretty close game against the Spurs, turned into a track meet. You had about, 250 points in there. So I expect some tired legs from Denver in the second half. The thing about Denver that I'm a little bit concerned about, first of all, besides the injuries to the guards, as Jamal Murray still has not made his return, and now you're relying on Morris and Craig to guard CJ and Lillard. Craig's a pretty good defender, but it's not really a great matchup. Plus, you have Jokic, who I know is a very good player. Besides that, Bol, if he ends up playing, which I don't think is that likely because he was just playing the exhibition games. But Portland just has so many different big men. You have Whiteside, who is 7 feet tall. You have Nurkic, who is 7 feet tall. You have Zach Collins, who's 7 feet tall. So I just think Portland has the size to frustrate Jokic, and I don't think Denver has many other weapons besides him. I know Porter's been playing really well, but it's the second night of a back-to-back, and I got to wonder if they might limit his minutes a little bit. Probably not. But I don't know. I think Portland has the length to just disrupt Denver on the interior, and I like Lillard and CJ's matchups against Denver's guards. So for that reason, I'll lean to Portland.
All right, I'll lean the other way. I'll lean Denver on that one. And then we've got what should be the marquee match of the evening is I don't know if it's going to turn out that way, is the Lakers and Houston. On this one, the Lakers are actually a 1-point favorite, Scott. They figured it out, buddy. We were able to jump on that one time, but the markets have adjusted.
Well, I didn't make my play of the day video yet, so cliffhanger. This play will be my play of the day. So I'm not going to give an opinion on this game.
All right, fair enough. I'm gonna give a slight lean to Houston here. I think that hangover could last another day for the Lakers playing a back-to-back. They looked obviously like crap yesterday. I don't love it. I think it's possible the Lakers could really rally. And
does it surprise you that Davis and LeBron played like 30 minutes yesterday? Because that shocked me when I saw the box score.
It did. I was checking that out, and we're checking their minutes there early in the third quarter, and seeing they were.
I assumed that they weren't going to play in the second half. I thought they were just going to come out kind of like what the Bucks did with Giannis and Middleton that one time.
Right.
Just play a half, Whether you're winning or losing, screw it. Just give them some reps and then let them rest. And then they're just
Look,
like, no, LeBron, get out here. I'm like, you're still down double digits to the Thunder? What are you doing?
well, luckily for us, they were disinterested when they played, so it
It
worked
doesn't
out.
surprise me. I mean, we both agreed on the lack of motivation angle. I'm just
Yep.
surprised that the coaching staff gave LeBron and Davis that many minutes when the game was double digits in the third quarter.
Yeah, it was. This one was really
It looked like a wrap at halftime. The Lakers just were taking a nap out there.
I was going to say early in the second quarter, this looked really good for us. So anyway, all right. So there you go. Again, not the most thrilling NBA card that we've had so far, but as always, we're out there. We're going to give you our picks. We're going to give you our leans and give you our thoughts on the matchups as they come. So that's our NBA show for the day. That's today in sports betting, NBA style, Scott.
Yeah, well, I know that I'm going to be having some plays probably on some NBA matchups. I know my play that is going to be on an NBA matchup. But This might be one of those days where my TV is going to be on the hockey channels because these games today, I don't really find that interesting. And, of course, wait for the lineups because maybe Houston, the Lakers can be entertaining. But if you start to see some people sit or some stuff like that, it's going to be a pretty boring day in the association.
Well, I know our Islanders shat the bed yesterday, so.
I don't know about our. They're more. I don't know if you had money on them.
No, but my kid did.
Well, my Islanders, because I'm a fan. Yeah, they had a couple chances. Didn't really work out. Their special teams atrocious. Power play stinks. Can't get the puck in the zone, and the penalty kill is terrible.
Oh, yeah, dreadful.
Yeah, Florida only scores on the power play, and yet they keep taking dumb penalties.
So here's a little hint for you. When you're a fan of a team like the Islanders, you probably need to just take all the fans you can get and not really come up with some sort of qualifier. So if I tell you I'm an Islanders fan,
but it wasn't about.
You probably ought to welcome me.
Well, I just know that two things. One, you aren't the biggest NHL fan. And B, I don't know why the Islanders of all teams. So there were a couple of questions I had there.
Because the team that's a half a mile from my house is an affiliate of the Islanders.
That's fair, I guess.
Same reason my son's a fan. So
I wasn't aware that both of you were actually Islanders fans. I thought you were just a fan temporarily because you had money on the Islanders last night.
Oh no, he's a massive hockey fan.
Oh, never mind. Okay, I thought you were just saying that because your son lost money on them in some type of bet.
No, he had the Islanders under and the under. He played another parlay. Went back to the parlay well, so that did not go as well for him.
Wait, the Islanders and the under?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the under hit.
Well, he had them together, but
I was going to say it means nothing, but
he bought out taking over 3.5 at some point. So I don't know how he did that, but anyway. All right, there you go. So it's today in sports betting, NBA and NHL style. Even though I've been called out for not being a real fan of the Islanders.
I wasn't aware you were actually a fan of the Islanders, so my bad. Because I just know that you told me previously that you just don't watch that much hockey. So I watched
that game. I watched the stupid penalty kill unit not be able to do a damn thing.
Yeah, not great. And I think Mayfield's an abysmal defender on the Islanders, but defenseman, I should say. But
hey, let's do some baseball, buddy.
All right, looking forward to it.
All right, guys, thanks very much for joining us today on the NBA version of Today in Sports Betting. Scott and I will be back again in just a second to do Today in Sports Betting MLB style. So, stay tuned. Check us on the next video. We'll see you then. All right, everybody have a great day. Take care.